Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday night Free to Dream or Own Your Own Life event. I love our weekly Wednesday event. It's great to hop on and share some stories, and that's what this week is really about, is just hearing some stories about some things that we've been up to. There's a group of us here in the West that have been doing some pretty amazing things when it comes to our health, but then also when it comes to our financial side of things as well. So I know we're going to hear some great stories tonight. My name is Jo and I'm a mum of two. I live in Perth and I have a 9 and a 6-year-old. I'm a registered nurse by trade, and I'll share a little bit more about my story a bit later. But for now, I'm going to jump straight on over to Emma, who's going to tell us about our amazing products.
Hey, hi, yes, so hi everyone, I'm Emma. I'm in Western Australia as well, down in Albany, and I came across what we're talking about here about 2.5 years ago, and it's been a great part of our life ever since. I have a son. I'm a single mum of a little boy who's 7, and we ended up homeschooling, so I ended up looking into this as a business and for a product. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we have. It fitted with me because I had an interest in health, and obviously I had an interest in child health. And I was, in all honesty, so I'm 47, I'm 40 years older than my son, and I had a little bit of concern, I guess. I wasn't particularly feeling healthy, although I was eating really good food and doing everything I could. I wasn't feeling vibrant and like I was in control of everything, and there was a couple of health concerns that I had that made me a little bit worried. So I'd been looking for a while for something that could help me with my health. And I came across this product and program. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the product first. So it's a product called Juice Plus. Now, I had misconceptions about this product for a few years, so I heard about it and I said, no, that's not for me. I had no idea what it was. I just didn't think it was for me. And then eventually I decided to take a look and find out what it was. And actually what it is real food. So it did, as it turns out, fit within my values. It's actually just real food. And you all know what happens. The fruits and vegetables that we get in our supermarkets these days have often travelled a really long way to get to us. They're picked before they're ripened, so some of the nutrients that used to be in the product don't even get a chance to develop. They may be grown with chemicals, and the diversity is not always great, and the cost of some of those things out of season and the fact that they have to travel so far makes them, you know, something that I would choose not to take. Whereas here, what I can get is fruits and vegetables and berries harvested at peak ripeness, grown without chemicals. And then what happens is they are dried at low temperatures in an oxygen-free environment, so they don't oxidize. And the water and sugar is, or most of the water and sugar is removed during that process. And the powder is encapsulated. They encapsulate it separately, so you know how in your fridge you keep your fruits and your vegetables in a separate drawer, or at least that's what you're advised to do because they keep for a lot longer. So they're encapsulated so they don't oxidize and they keep fresh for as long as possible. All of the enzymes and all of the phytonutrients are there available for us. So it's actually food as nature intended our bodies to have it. Which means it's much more bioavailable. I don't know if you've ever taken a vitamin pill and then gone to the toilet and had fluorescent pee. That doesn't happen with these because your body recognizes every single substance and absorbs it into your blood system. And I take these, I've been taking them every day now for 2.5 years. And I wake up in the morning and I take all 3 of them with quite a lot of water. So on an empty stomach, I'm flooding my body with these. And within 20 minutes, the nutrients of these, I think there's 32 now, fruits and vegetables are in my body, which I can say has completely transformed my health. Somebody was talking the other day and said how I just get younger, which I do certainly feel like that's the case. A new product came onto the market in Australia about 18 months ago. And that was another capsule. This time it's an oil. So it's a omega blend. It's different from other omegas. It actually comes from the plant. So it's one of the few vegan omega blends on the market. The capsule's vegan as well. And what they've done here is, again, go straight to the source. Rather than to go to the fish and take the oil from the fish, they've gone to the plant. And another advantage of that, not just for vegans and vegetarians, but for pollution that's in the sea. So if you've ever been pregnant, which probably quite a few people on here have, you're advised, there's a lot of advice around your omegas. You have to be careful with mercury and heavy metals that can be in the fish. No problem with that if you use one from a plant base. When I got my products out tonight to share them, I discovered an extra 2 packets of these chews, which I'd stashed away after I'd been to an expo recently, and I can tell you I had a little nibble. They taste so good. So these are the fruits and vegetable powders, just like this, only they're put into a chewable form, which makes them palatable for children, and also it's good for those adults that can't take capsules as well, and for the mums that feel like they just want a little bit of something, and it's vegetables and fruits after all. So these actually come free if you have a child between the ages of 4 and 18 and you place an order for the adult product. You actually get to sponsor a child for free. Say you have a child, it doesn't have to be your child, it can be your grandchild or your neighbour. But the product comes for free for up to 4 years as long as you keep your order going. As part of giving this product away for free, which our company very generously does, they're also doing a study. So they're studying those children as a longitudinal study as to what happens to the children's health as a result of taking the product. And what they found is it changes your palate. So there's quite a lot in the news at the moment about gut health, and it's actually the bacteria in your gut that crave your food for you. So if your gut is full of fruits and vegetables, then your bacteria are going to adapt to be the bacteria that like fruits and vegetables, and it's actually changing what people crave. That's adults and children. So not only can you bridge the gap between what you want, what you eat and what you should eat, or what your kids eat and what you really would like them to eat, but you can also help them to change their palate and crave more fruits and vegetables. I also found to have less days off school, less trips to the doctor, be drinking more water, and we have here quite a lot of stories of children whose behaviour improves as a result of getting the good nutrition into their body. And the final one that we have, this was a lifesaver for me in so many ways. It's a product called Complete. I'm not sure how well you can see that. It comes in chocolate and vanilla flavour. What it is a superfood. So you've got all sorts of superfoods in here: broccoli, sprouts, amaranth, yucca powder, spirulina, and loads of superfoods. Speak to the person who added you if you want to know the whole list, because it will take the night. You can mix these with water or milk, or you can add them into recipes. They make really good smoothie powders, so you can just, blend up your fruits or your vegetables and add one of these in. I actually really like it with iced coffee. So I just do some espresso and some coffee and have one of these added in there, and that makes a really nice superfood iced coffee that I have in the morning. You can make pancakes, all sorts of things. What happened with me with these, so when I first started on these products, I was having really bad sugar cravings in the afternoon. I was just tired. And I would get to that sort of 3 o'clock in the afternoon kind of time, and I would reach for something that wasn't very healthy. And when I started on the product, somebody said to me, have one in the morning, but if you feel like you would, going to crave and eat something bad, have one in the afternoon instead. And I did that twice in my first week. I think it was twice. In my first week, I had one of these in the afternoon, and since then, I can honestly say I haven't craved sugar in that way at all. So that's been pretty good. And I also found that they made pain go away. So part of my story that I was telling you before, I had chronic pain that couldn't be diagnosed. It wasn't cancer, and it wasn't a brain tumor, it wasn't MS. It was all these things that it wasn't, but I still didn't know what it was, and I still had it. And after about 10 days of being on these products, it went away. And I realized after doing a long flight and missing out on these for 3 days that this was actually what had done that for me, because it started to come back. So since then, it's like my medicine, and I don't miss a day. Now it gets better because we have, for anybody that orders any of these products from us, we have a lifetime gift for you of a program called the Juicy Body Transformation. So the Juicy Body Transformation was written by a lady called Kira Westwick. It may be a name that you recognize. She was on MasterChef. So she's actually incredibly good at creating food, but she's also very good at making it family friendly. So she had a husband who was paleo and 2 children who were very fussy. She was tired of making 4 meals every mealtime. And so she looked at ways to create healthy family food. And most of the recipes are really quite simple and easy to make and very tasty. So the first volume is about 199 pages long. That tells you everything about the program. There's gratitude journals, meal plans, pantry guides, all sorts of things. And then she made volume 2, which has more of the same. There's a gourmet detox as well. And then there's been all sorts of additional things that she's made since then, like books for Christmas. There's a shred challenge. There's just the opposite of the shred challenge. There's the Easter cookbook, so you can get all of your nice chocolate. Mother's Day cookbook, Father's Day cookbook. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. Just more and more stuff is coming out all the time. And this is all housed in a Facebook group with lots of support and competitions where you can win prizes and all sorts of things happening in that group. So 24 hours a day you can be supported and inspired. We have everybody contributes. So if they've made something out of the book that's really made that they've really enjoyed, they'll share that, and that might just give you the inspiration you need to create a great dinner tonight. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I shall hand back to you, Jo.
Thanks, Emma. I love hearing you share about your story and just the changes it's made with your pain, which is fantastic. It's so nice to hear. And good that you get that definitive what's going on with not having your complete and then coming back to it. So I know with the complete, I love to add it with coconut water. That's my go-to, and the chocolate is definitely my go-to in the afternoon for that sweet craving. Or just, if I finish work and I need something, but I don't feel like I want to ruin dinner and that kind of thing, then it's certainly a great in-between as well. I just share a little bit about my story. I started this product 3 years ago, and it was really in an effort to boost my daughter's immune system. She was 3 at the time and getting chest infections all the time. So through winter, it was antibiotics, just, pretty much one after the other. My husband was fly in, fly out, so I was basically solo parenting. And so having a sick child plus the second one that, was healthy, was hard work. So it was nice to be able to bridge that gap between, having eggs for tea and not worrying about getting that extra fruit and veggie into their diets every day. It really just took the pressure off that if I didn't perform in the kitchen and get an amazing meal on the table, I knew that the kids' nutritional needs were met, and it boosted Caitlin's immune system as well, which was just incredible. She, apart from an ear infection here and there, she's been healthy, touch wood, since then. So we're really, really stoked with those results. As like Emma said, it, changes your palate. And now with both my kids, I don't have that argument when it comes to eating their veggies, or fruit is just comes and goes in our house so quickly. And dinner time is never going to be perfect, but the argument of, use your fork or chew with your mouth closed is more what we hear, rather than eat your broccoli or eat your spinach or things like that. So that's refreshing. Like I said, kids are always going to be unpredictable, and I love that we can't trick them into wanting those foods and craving those foods. There's, you know, for anyone that's got children, you know that there's no placebo effect with kids. It's just they want what they want, and that's just how it goes. So it's really exciting. I'm going to switch over to Fuchsia now and hear her story. I know she's got one that's close to my heart, so take it away, Fuchsia.
Hi, ladies. Thanks for letting me share tonight. So yeah, I started on the products just over 2 years ago. So for me, being a new mum wasn't really what I thought it was going to be. And becoming pregnant also kind of coincided with lots of family upset, which left me really isolated and lacking a lot of support. And things just really snowballed from there. I look back at that time and I just see a really tired me. I see a really short me, as in emotionally not being available and short with my little boy, which really wasn't what any mum wants to be. You know, I find that often I was putting lots and lots of shows on in the afternoon because I couldn't keep up with all that energy and that enthusiasm, and I just needed time out all the time. So I felt like I was wishing away this time in my life that was meant to be some of the best times of my life. I was just too tired. I was too tired to get out of the house. I was too tired to get organised. I was too tired to get to the shop. I couldn't think past the immediate day. So I was always on the back foot, just trying to catch up, and never quite getting there, you know, not knowing what was happening tomorrow, not knowing what I was cooking for dinner that night until I was like forced into it at dinner time. So I really wasn't feeling my best self. I was put on antidepressants, and I never thought I would be someone. And that's it. I had this whole idea that, you know, that was something that happened to everybody else and not to me. And being on antidepressants was really something I wasn't comfortable with. As much as they said it won't affect your breast milk and only a little bit gets passed on to your baby, it didn't sit right. And I really wanted to get off it. I also wanted to have another baby, and I really wasn't going to get pregnant while I was on the medication, despite the doctors saying that that's all okay and there's no problem with it. It just did not feel right. So I was desperately looking for something and not knowing what it was. And so I answered an Instagram ad, which at the time was really out of character. It was definitely the first time I answered an ad on Instagram. And it wasn't even an ad. It was just someone talking about their experience. It just kind of felt right. I thought I'd give it a go. So I jumped on to the capsules, and I felt a huge difference almost immediately. Within a week, I was like full of energy again. I was getting up in the morning. I wasn't cranky in the morning. I was a nice person in the morning. I wasn't reaching for coffee straight away. I was able to go for a walk in the morning. I was managing exercise. I was organising my day, and everything about my sense of self was coming back, and I was just feeling really like much more of the mum I wanted to be. And still to this day, I feel that I know when I'm not on my products, if I forget them, I feel that in myself. I'm so much full of energy. My hair's better, my skin's better. I've got that sense of self back that I feel like really went missing for a little while. So I'm really, really grateful for our products. And you know, my husband actually, after I'd been on the products for a little while, saw that in me, and he said, you know what, I think I want to take those too. And he was, you know, a definite skeptic, and he was on the products. For him, it took probably a little bit longer. It took him a few weeks, and he just turned around and went, whoa, I've got my mojo back. And that was his exact words. And so really, really grateful that we came across the products and they've had such an impact on our health. So thank you. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Fuchsia. I love hearing your story. Postnatal depression is something that's, you know, close to me as well. I suffer from it with my children, and, you know, depression is so common these days. But for me, it's really, this journey's been really about learning to recognise the relationship between what we eat and how we feel. And there's, like Emma said before, there's a big thing about gut health these days, but there's just such a huge link between what we eat and how we feel. And I know for me that made a huge difference. And that was a big part in moving forward, that next step for me was joining the business. And so I wanted to segue into just talking a little bit about the business tonight. I know that things are probably done differently to what we might be used to, what our parents might have done in the past. But, there is a business behind these products, and it's really just a matter of sharing. I was super skeptical in the beginning as well, and I really didn't think it was going to be something that, that was going to be for me. But when I saw how amazing this community was and how it, we have this beautiful support network of people just there raising each other up. So, doing things differently became much more sensible than traditional business. So, like I said before, I'm a nurse by trade. There's very much a hierarchy system in nursing. We have our director of nursing, and then it filters down to our clinical nurses or our nurse educators. And those people have responsibilities when it comes to rostering and supervising and all that kind of thing. And I know, from my experience in working with these managers and things, it makes them cranky. It really doesn't put forward their best selves when they're in these roles. And it's certainly not somewhere where I wanted to go, that, that hierarchy. And I wanted to be a stay-at-home mum. I didn't want to be working shift for, not home for meal times and that sort of thing. So being able to do both has been really fulfilling, but the most fulfilling part has been joining this company as well. So, that's a little bit about, so the structure, it's really different, and the way that it works for this is that everybody gets an equal shot, everyone gets equal opportunity. So there's no you come in and you have to work up to it or anything like that. Everybody gets a turn, and we all help each other along the way, which is really fantastic. And it's not just, one director of nursing at the top. There's room. Our pinnacle position is called NMD, or National Marketing Director, and there are as many positions as people want, basically. So there's 3 people that really come into this business. The first being someone that, comes in, just loves the program, loves the product, and loves the community, and really just wants to get their own products a little bit cheaper, which I'll be honest was what I came in at to begin with. The second person might have a small bill that they want to cover. It might be, that they want to cover their groceries or a fuel bill, or to be able to just contribute to the household, or have a shopping fund or that kind of thing. And that's completely fine too, if you come in and want to just do a little bit along the way. We love you whether you come in and want to do a lot or just a little bit, which is great. And the third one is really someone that comes in and sees this as a second stream of income and makes it their plan A, which is really exciting. I've seen many people along the way that have come in and sort of started off at wanting to cover a small bill like the groceries, and then completely made it their plan A. We've had, corporate and teachers and all sorts of different industry people retire from their traditional jobs and be able to do this on a full-time basis and really design their life, which is pretty exciting. Be there for kids' activities, be there for all the school assemblies, or whatever it is that you value, just be able to be there for those things. So it's pretty exciting. It grows effortlessly. It was something that I was concerned about, was hunting down friends, and I certainly didn't want to have to chase people. And so it's really just about sharing and recommending something. So we all have a movie that we love, or a restaurant, or a makeup brand, or things like that we share with our friends. And there's no commissions that come from those. I know I've recommended a few Netflix programs lately, and there's certainly no commission coming through from Netflix. So it's nice to be able to get that reward back for sharing naturally what we love and what we're passionate about. The other thing is just to be able to reconnect. I have actually, been blessed to reconnect with so many people from my past that I've been able to just share this with in a nice, natural way, and it doesn't feel pushy at all. So, and then in saying that, reconnecting with people from the past, there's so many new friends that I have now as well, which I value so dearly and just don't know where I'd be without them. So, I'm going to pass on now to Celeste, who's going to share a little bit about her business story and what changes it's made in her life. Thanks, Celeste.
Thanks, Jo. Thanks for letting me share tonight. So this business came across my path about a year and a half ago at the same time that the products did. And I immediately just thought, why not? I wasn't really skeptical. I didn't think about it a whole lot, to be honest. I signed up within a couple of days. At the time, my little girl was 1, and even just in that short time, I was lost in myself. I wanted my independence, but more than that, I wanted to be a full-time mum. So again, like Jo said, I jumped on board really in the beginning just to get my products for free. I didn't realise what this could be. And I thought if I could learn some new skills, then great. I'd worked in mining for years and I was good at what I did, but I'll never go back and waste away in an office job again. So I gave up Netflix, and it allowed me to work at night, and now I spend all the time during the day with my little girl. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Earning an income is really amazing, but I had no idea what was going to come with it. The people that I would meet, the places I would get a chance to travel to for work, and really the personal growth within myself has been more in the past year than probably in my 12 years previous working life. It's just, been amazing. I've got a FIFO hubby as well, so I do most of my work when he's away, and then when he's home we get to spend all that time together, go on holidays and whatnot. And I'm currently 35 weeks pregnant, and knowing that I can continue to grow my business up until the moment I go into labour is pretty cool. So I'm just excited to keep sharing this amazing opportunity with other people that are looking for something.
Thanks, Celeste. That's amazing. And not long now, so congratulations. It's really exciting. I can't wait to hear about it, the next juicy baby. I'm going to switch over to Leya now and hear about her story. Thanks, Leya.
Sorry, unmuted. Hi. So a little bit about how I came across this opportunity. I actually was the third person that Jo was talking about, and I actually was looking for this to become an extra stream of income. I found it when my little girl, first bub, was 4 months old, and I was desperately searching for a way to not have to return to my previous job, which I'd worked in travel, and it was definitely not very family friendly. And I really didn't want, our lifestyle to have to change, and for my husband to have to really wear all of the financial kind of burden and have all of that on his shoulders. So I was certainly looking for a way to be able to stay at home, be the mum that I wanted, and also to be able to contribute financially. And I came across this, and there was another mum who introduced me, and she had 2 kids and she was pregnant with her third, and she was earning a pretty good income, and she said to me, look, if you want to do this, I can show you what I'm doing. It's absolutely been life-changing. So just over 3 years on, I have gone on to have my second baby. So I've got 2 beautiful little girls now, and I am able to stay at home, be mum, not miss out on any of the moments. But I think more importantly than that, I have got something for me. I think that I definitely wanted to be a stay-at-home mum, and I definitely love everything with my kids, but it can be pretty easy to get isolated and lost in that. And this has definitely given me a community, and amazing personal growth also, but also to have something that is mine, that is outside the role of being mum and wife and friend, but to not have to go to a workplace and worry about childcare and things like that. So look, it was definitely what I was looking for, and it was the answer to what I needed, and I've been really excited, and to look 3 years on how far we've come. This pays our mortgage every month. It's given me the opportunity to travel, to be able to just have independence and have that my own money as well. And I think when you become a mum, it can be easy just to kind of fall into not thinking about the things that you want, because you've got these little people that you're constantly thinking about, and that's amazing. It's you know, the most beautiful gift, and I would never change that. But to be able to also have something for myself and, to be able to contribute has been, just such a blessing. So, you know, I think this is definitely not for everybody, but if there's any part of it or what you've heard tonight that sparks any curiosity or makes you think what if, or if you're not loving what you're doing right now, then definitely just go back to the person who invited you to take a look and get some, you know, and ask some questions. And so I'm forever grateful that I did that. It was definitely something that I was skeptical about, but you know, I'm so glad that I took the leap, and I look at where my life is now, and very blessed. Thanks, Jo.
Thanks, Leah. It's so nice to have been on this with you for the last 3 years. It's exciting to see how far we've both come, which is really great. Like Leah said, if any of this resonates with you, if you're wondering what this could be, then definitely get your questions answered. I wanted to say thank you for joining us. If you know you're on, or you know someone sends you the recording for this, thank you for sticking around this long. And if you have any questions, we're here every Wednesday night, so you can always come back and join us again and hear some more stories, or definitely go back to the person that shared this with you. So thanks, everybody. Good night.